First thing, completion is not apologizing. Understand? In completion, you may apologize, not because you feel powerless, but because you feel powerful now, not because at that time you did some mistake, but because at those days you had inadequate cognition. Please understand. As a law of life, your cognition will continue to grow. As law of life, your cognition will continue to grow. As law of life, you will continue to expand. Then now you have only two choices. One, either you go on be crying about your past as a wrong mistake, or you can look at the whole thing as inadequate cognition and raise your cognition level. I tell you, when you complete, do not have apologetic mood. Do not feel the guilt. You have done something wrong. No. Because if you feel guilty, you will not go through all the past and complete. Because even one or two will make you so tired, you will be agitated, irritated. You will think, what is this? Why should I think? So you will develop a subtle hatred towards completion. You will never sit for completion sessions. How many of you feel, listen, bored or tired, don't want to sit for completion? Raise your hand. All of you need to know, you are only having a deep guilt about past. You should know you have not done something wrong in the past, but listen, you have not done anything wrong in the past, but it was just inadequate cognition. You expecting you should have the adequate cognition from the childhood is impractical expectation in this society. Then you should have become my Gurukul child. In the society you can't expect to have a complete cognition. You can't expect society to allow you to continue to have a complete cognition. A child is allowed to have a complete cognition only in my Gurukul. And if you just allow the complete cognition, full brain of a child to be functioning, helping the child, encouraging the child to learn, so beautiful. So beautiful. So first thing you need to understand is completion is not feeling guilty about your past, remembering your past inadequate cognition and completing it so that decisions and patterns you developed during inadequate cognition does not need to continue to exist in your present inner space and affect your life now. If you are bored, unhappy, don't want to sit for completion, be very clear. You are not completing, you are just sitting with your past guilt and just brooding over. Just brooding over. Listen and understand. Completion is not apologizing. Same way when you are completing with others, don't be in the apologetic mood. You are not apologizing. Sometimes apologizing may happen. See, many times, only if you feel powerless, if you fall into the powerless mode, you apologize. Don't fall into powerless mode. Sit powerfully. Remember very clearly, when you had those powerless moments, some part of you have been stuck with others. Now you are reclaiming those parts. That's all. For example, if I had a fight with my elder brother when I was 6, and still that memory is there in me, that fear is there in me, that feeling is there in me, means still that 6-year-old child is influencing me. So all I am trying to do is I am liberating myself from that fear pattern which I created at the age of 6, which happened due to fighting with my brother. I am not now going and apologizing to my brother. Oh, sorry, that time I beat you, now I apologize. No. You may apologize in some time, but completion itself is not just apologizing. It is like making the other person understand and making yourself understand that fighting in the young age created a strong, fearful, powerless pattern in you which is responsible for still you struggling, suffering with a wrong cognition, improper, inadequate cognition. Completion means shifting the cognition from an inadequate cognition which is restrictive to an expansive cognition which expands you and the other person. I tell you, completion brings integrity in you, completion brings authenticity in you, completion brings responsibility in you, completion brings enriching in you, completion brings listening in you, completion brings completion in you.